Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Churchill Downs here on Friday. It is May the 6th, 2016. We're going to look at the stakes races here on Kentucky Oaks Day. Before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections. It's Kentucky Oaks Day. Tomorrow's the Derby. Action-packed weekend from Churchill. Gonna have selections on my Twitter account at Horse Racing Kid 5 for for the other races, the non-stakes races. So you have to go there to get those races. But for YouTube, gonna look at the stakes races on today's program. Races 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Great sequence of racing. I'm really happy that they didn't put like a maiden claim race in the middle of it, so you could play an all stakes pick 6 or pick 5. So let's get on to it. We have 6 races, beginning with race number 6, which is the 31st edition of the La Trionne Stakes. Grade 1 purse $300,000 for fillies, mares, 4-year-olds, and upwards. We have fields of 7 filly and mares traveling the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16. It's a very, very nice race here. I can't repeat that enough. Mile 16th. And the minimum superfecta wager for the for Derby Oaks days are what do you call it? It's not 10 cents; it's $1 for the superfecta. So I'm gonna give you out a superfecta, but I might also do a trifecta for 50 cents and play it keyed. So we'll see what I'm doing, and like I said, I'll have a pick 5 ticket. I'm not gonna play the pick 6 because I'm not a big fan of playing $2 pick 6 tickets. It's just when you're a college student, out of your budget, so 50-cent pick 5 is what I like. But I'm gonna play a superfecta here. I'm gonna go 2-1-3-5, 2-1-3-5. Also, my play it's trifecta key. 2 with the 135 for 50 cents. That trifecta key should cost you $3. If you want to play the trifecta for $1, it's going to cost you $1. But number 2, sheer drama, top selection here. 8-5 with Joe Bravo for David Fox, who trained this one last time out. First start of the year in the Madison Stakes at Keeneland. This horse won by a neck that day, really closing up well that day, beating the last year's British Cup Distaff winner, Stop Charging Maria. This horse just really fought back to a very nice victory. He got a 100 buyer speed figure, which is probably one of the best of this horse's career. The start before that was back in October, mile 8th in the British Cup Distaff. Finished 4th by 4 3/4 lengths, breaking from like the parking lot from post vision number 13 out of 14. This horse, with what this horse did from that 14 hole, from that 13 hole, was pretty remarkable to get up for 4th. Was closing up later in the race after a lot of traffic trouble, and then Saratoga, mile 8th in the personal ensign. This horse won by 1 1/4 lengths, really ran really well. It was a winner, won 2 in a row, won the personal ensign, won the Delaware handicap. Has 2 starts over this surface here at Churchill, and last year Florida the Lees Stakes back in June. This horse finished second in this race last season. Was a favorite in this race last year. I think this horse should really run well today. She's coming into this race really good. There's a few other horses that could maybe upset, maybe in the pick 5, or maybe in the pick 3 if I play it. It's 50 cents. I might go. I would probably use the 1, 2, 3. The 5 horse wise for third. She's going to be the pace. I have a feeling she might be finishing 4th today, Penwith. But I don't think she could. I think the cavalry's gonna come after that horse, the 5 horse. That's why I don't think she's gonna win. But I would probably maybe use the 1, 2, 3 on the pick 5 or pick 6 or pick 3. So to recap my bets for race number 6 from Churchill Downs, the La Trionne Stakes, gonna go with the 2 horse sheer drama. Gonna do superfecta here, 2-1-3-5, 2-1-3-5 in the La Trionne, race 6 from Churchill. So now let's get on to race number 7. 7th race from Churchill Downs here on Oaks Day. It's the 61st running of the 8 Bell Stakes. Grade 2 purse, $200,000 for fillies, 3-year-olds. We have a field of 8 horses traveling the distance of ground of 1,400 meters, which equals 7 furlongs. I just want to make sure you're watching. So 1,400 meters, 7 furlongs. And this race, I'm gonna do a superfecta this race again. Might also play it in trifecta key the same way also. But this is the beginning of the pick 5 here. Gonna go with the 8 horse top selection nickname, second choice here. Gonna key this horse on top. Well, not gonna key this horse. Gonna use this as my top selection. Gonna go 8-5-2-7, 8-5-2-7. Might also use the trifecta key the same way. But number 8 nickname, 3-1 Javier Castellano for Steve Asmussen. Last time out, Keelan, 7 furlongs in Beaumont Stakes on April the 17th. Finished second by 3/4 of a length that day. Was near the lead. He got the lead at the at the top of the stretch, and midpoint of the stretch, and then got taken over by Lightstream. Then Honeybee Stakes down at Oaklawn on the slop, mile 16th on the 12th of March. This horse finished second by 6.5 lengths. It was a favorite that day. It was. I don't think this horse, the winner, was a very good winner and was a winner of the next start, who was Term Moms or something like that. And then in the Martha Washington Stakes down at Oaklawn, this horse finished second by half length. Just a bit outkicked that day. This horse finished fourth to Songbird in last year's Brews Cup Juvenile Fillies. I think the one turn really suits this horse a lot. The going the one turn 7 furlongs. Had a decent Beaumont Stakes as a 2-year-old last season. Won the Furzette and won a 6 furlong race at Saratoga going one turn. So yeah, I'm gonna go with this one here as a top selection. On the ticket, I also have the 5 horse. Karina Mia, who was supposed to run in the Oaks, but they chose this race. I think this horse is a lot better. This horse is a lot better horse going this distance, 7 furlongs around the one turn. I think has one start this year, fourth in the Ashland in a field of 5, getting Lasix for the first time. So that should be a real help. That's that's gonna really help this horse. On the pick 5 sequence again, maybe I'll use both. I would probably use 5-8. That would be pretty much it. I wouldn't use anybody else in this race because I think those are the two horses to beat. So they look very hard to beat in this race. So I'm gonna go 5-8 for pick 5 sequence. But for a super factor, maybe to change it up, I'm gonna go 8-5. So to recap my bets for race number 7, the 8 Bell Stakes from Churchill. Gonna go with the 8 horse here, who is nickname. Gonna do super factor 8-5-2-7, 8-5-2-7. Like I said, I'll use the 5-8 in the pick 5 sequence. So now let's get on to race number 8, which is the 22nd running of the Twin Spires Turf Sprint. Grade 3, purse $150,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 13 sprinters traveling 5 furlongs on the turf course. This is one of the wide open races on today's program, I think. 5 furlongs. And I'm probably going to use. I'm doing a dollar jack box. It's going to cost you $12 to play this one. I'm going to go 1-2-7-11. 1-2-7-11. It's so wide open. Just get a dart, throw it at the dartboard, and there's your selection. But like I said, I'm going to go 1-2-7-11. Dollar exact box. It's going to cost you $12. I'll use all 4 in the pick 5 sequence, or in the pick 6, pick 3. But number 1 Parler, a very good horse here at 5-1 with Julian Leparoux, an Australian bred for Brian Lynch. Last time out, we're at a Keelan 5.5 furlongs in Shakertown. This horse did nothing as a favor. Finished 8th by 7 lengths. Really didn't have a good kick. It was just empty. Then in the Silks Run Stakes, Gulfstream Park, 5/8 of a mile on the turf course. Won by 3/4 of a length. That really ran well. And then won the Gulfstream Park Turf Sprint by a neck. I really like this horse here. 1-for-1 over this turf course. Won the turf sprint last season really well. But looking over this horse's races, I think he should. That last race, it's pretty weird. They did go incredibly fast. They went to 20-3 to the first quarter, 43-4 to the half, 56-2. They finished the race in 102 and 4, which is quite fast. But that was the probably this is that race was probably the fastest this horse has ever, in fraction wise, just going over the fractions, the fastest first quarter this horse has ever run in a race against. He doesn't set the pace. He sits off of it. But I think this horse, if they get a decent pace, like he's been going 21, 22-1, this horse should really win. Last year they ran the pace in 21-2, and he won pretty substantially, went wire to wire basically. So I really like this horse here. If he gets a good clean trip, watch out for this one. 5-1, like the price also. Also going to put the 2 horse Summation Time on my ticket, 8-1. Javier Castellano for Christophe Clement. Last time out in the Shakertown, finished 4th by 2 lengths that day. This horse would really benefit from the 6 furlongs at Belmont on the turf course, or 6 furlongs at Laurel on the turf course. He's getting 5 furlongs, cutting back today. He closes up really well. This would be probably he needs a little bit more distance of ground, but you never know if he gets a good clear trip, he could really be closing at the end for that second or even that win spot. Start before that was in Sunshine Million Turf Sprint. Force finished second by half a length. Again, didn't have enough ground that day. And then this horse ran the New Arctic Stakes at Woodbine last October. This horse finished second by head, just missed. This horse, like I said, this horse might need the 6 furlong distance. 5 furlongs. This horse is 5-2, 2 wins, 2 seconds. Has missed once out of the money. That was back in. Let's see if we can find that race. That race was no, we can't find that race at the moment. But I think this horse is going to be ready here. So going to put this horse on my ticket with the 7 horse, who could be a top selection if I had to give you one out of the 4 horses. Because I'm just a really big fan of this horse. That is Hootenanny at 7-2. John Velasquez for Wesley Ward. Believes this horse gave Wesley Ward his first British Cup victory back in 2014, the British Cup Juvenile Turf. This horse won by 3/4 length with Frankie Dettori up that day at 6-1. Had this horse, had a lot of money on that horse that day. Cashed out big that British Cup day. This horse was really running like an express train down the stretch. Really won, took over luck of the kitten. Has one start this year, April 9th, up at Woodbine and PETA in the Jack Cotare Stakes. This horse finished by 2 1/4 lengths, got taken over in the final few strides by, the final furlong by the winner. That was the horse's first start since the Royal Ascot last season in the Commonwealth Cup, that Group 1 race. Finished 11th by 11.5 lengths, was a favorite, just tired badly that day. The winner, Muhar and Lamido, were winners of the next start out. And then this horse, first started last year of 2015, the 5.5 furlongs allowance race for 60,000 at Keeneland. This horse won by 6 1/4 lengths. This horse won at the Windsor Castle Stakes at Royal Ascot 2014, won the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf of 2014, and finished at Deauville in France in one of their big Group 1s for 2-year-olds. I really like this horse here. Should really run well today, I think. The perfect distance of ground, I think, also. One thing, the Wesley Ward horses, for some reason they're good at 2-year-olds. After that, they're not really, they're not that good. This horse is running at a 4-year-old, so maybe this horse can really prove himself here today. 7-2. I'm also going to put the 11 horse on my ticket. Number 11, who is something extra, 4-1, Sean Bridgman. Last time out, ran at Keeneland, 5.5 furlongs in Shakertown. A lot of these horses are coming out of the Shakertown. This horse finished second by half length. It was underneath the lead that day and just got, just ran down to the finish. The horse who won that day undrafted ran a very good race. Then ran the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint at Keeneland last season. Finished 13th that day. Was far back early. Really wasn't making any ground. I think it just wasn't a great race for this horse. And then the Woodford at Keeneland on the mud. This horse finished 10th. Just throw out those 2 races, I think. I think this spot is a lesser quality spot. He finished 3rd in this race last year. Won the Shakertown in 2015 at Keeneland. This horse will need. This horse does good over a wet course. He won the Shakertown on a very waterlogged turf course last season. But I like this horse here a little bit. 4-1. So to recount my bets for the Twin Spires Turf Sprint, race number 8 from Churchill, I'm going to go with the 1-2-7 exact box, 1-2-7-11 exact box. For $1, it's going to cost you $12. So now let's get on to race number 9 from Churchill. The 9th race from Churchill Downs is the 13th running of the Ali Sheba Stakes, or handicap, grade 2, purse $400,000 for 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 10 horses traveling the distance of ground of 1 mile and 1/16, and it's a great race. For the older horses, you have the Ali Sheba here at Churchill. At Pimlico during Preakness weekend, you have the Pimlico Special, which is probably one of my favorite races in the country, and then you have the Met Mile Belmont weekend. So that's a good triple crown if the horses want to run. Mile 16th. If one runs at all 3 races, I'll be shocked, because no trainer will bring their horse back after 2 weeks after this race. But mile 16th are traveling here. I'm going to give you a bit of a long shot, or a lot of a long shot here. That's going to be the 10 horse Midnight Storm at 15-1. Really like this horse's chances tomorrow. Going to keep that horse on top of a trifecta key for 50 cents. Going to cost you $6 for 50 cents. Going to go 10 with the 3, 4, 5, 9. 10 with the 3, 4, 5, 9 for 50 cents. Trifecta key should cost you $6. But number 10, Midnight Storm, 15-1, Flavian Pratt, Phil Diamato. Last time out, ran San Anita Park on the turf in the Crowley Mile. This horse finished fourth by 5 1/4 lengths that day on a good turf course. He had a horrible trip. He had to steady at the 16 pole, was drifting in. If this horse gets a clear trip, it should really run well. That was the horse's first start of the year also. Last start last year came in the Seabiscuit Stakes or Seabiscuit Handicap at Del Mar, mile 16th, November 27th. Horse won by 1 3/4 lengths that day. Was stalking or near the lead and just really ran really well, won easily. Seabiscuit Stakes was formerly run at Hollywood Park, known as the Citation Handicap, so remember that. And then the Eddie D Stakes going downhill at 6.5 at San Anita. This horse finished sixth by 2 1/4 lengths. This horse has run on dirt surface before, 5-1 over it, 1 win, 2 seconds. Last time this horse tried dirt was in the Pacific Classic. This horse finished 10th by 36 1/4 lengths. Finished second. Just finished last that day. Just gave away. Was dueling that day also early on in the race. If this horse could stay, not go super fast and take his time, I think this horse could really be a good upsetter here. The distance should be very good for this horse. This horse proven himself on turf. Can he prove himself on dirt against this quality of horses? I think he can. His races. He won the Seabiscuit as a 3-year-old. This horse won the Del Mar Derby and finished second in the Shoemaker Mile of 2015. So I think this horse should really run well today here. Been trading on the dirt. 5-4 workout, 102-2, 17th best out of 27. Going to be my long shot play of the day here from from Churchill. So to recap my bets for race number 9 from Churchill Downs, the Al Sheba Stakes, or handicapped, gonna go with the 10 horse, who is Midnight Storm. Gonna do trifecta key, 10 with the 3-4-9, 10 with the 3-4-5-9 for 50 cents. Gonna cost you $6. So now let's get on to race number 10 from Churchill. The 10th race from Churchill Downs is the 31st running of the Edgewood Stakes. Grade 3, purse $150,000. It's for fillies, 3-year-olds. We have a field of 13 horses traveling the distance of ground of 1 mile and a 16th. It's a very good race here also. Like if you watch the Howard Stern show, Richard Christie, that's my favorite. I've been saying that a lot this year. You can't have more than one favorite, I have to say, but I do have more than one favorite. You shouldn't, but I do. But that's my favorite. It's a very wide open race. Well, somewhat wide open race for the bottom spots. I think there's one horse that should be the favorite and that's the 10 horse Catch Glimpse, reigning Breeders' Cup Juvenile Phillies Turf champion. Gonna do a superfecta of this race. Gonna go 10-5-1-7, 10-5-1-7. Catch Glimpse might be the single I have for my pick 5 sequence. It's going to be. I think this horse should really run well today. So 10-5-1-7 for the superfecta. But number 10, Catch Glimpse, 2-1 Florent Giroux for Mark Casse, giving Mark Casse his first Breeders' Cup victory last season in the Juvenile Phillies Turf. This horse won by 3/4 length and really ran just a hell of a race. Ran a hell of a race, got checked at the 7/8 pole, but after that really ran very good at the, was driving that day. But has 2 starts this year. Last time on the Appalachian Stakes a few weeks ago at Keeneland on the turf course at a mile 16th, won by 3/4 length. Was stalking the lead and just held that day. Got the lead at the in mid stretch and really ran well. It was a decent race. Then here comes the Bride down at Gulfstream Park, mile 16th on the 27th of February. This horse won by 2.5 lengths. It was near the lead that day again, and just drew off clear. Very, very nice victory. I think that race was probably one of the best races for this horse. Then, like I said, won the Breeders' Cup Philly Mayor Turf, or Phillies Juvenile Turf. And then in Tama, another race that could go as this horse's best in her career. A 1 mile in a Grade 2 Tama. I believe this year it's Grade 1 now, because that race is proven as a very good prep race for the Breeders' Cup. But this horse won by 5 lengths at 8-1. Really ran very well. I think this horse will really run well today. He's been training pretty good. Has 4-phone workout on the 29th of Keeneland. 4 phones, 47-2. The second best workout, 70. So I think this horse is going to be ready to run here today. So to recap my bets for race number 10 from Churchill Downs, it's the Edgewood Stakes. Gonna go with 10 horse Catch a Glimpse. gonna do superfecta here, 10-5-1-7, 10-5-1-7. So now let's get on to today's 11th race, the feature race on today's program. It is the 142nd running of the Kentucky Oaks, sponsored by Longines. Grade 1 purse $1 million for fillies 3-year-olds. We have a field of 15 horses traveling the distance of ground of a mile and an eighth. The 15 horse is also eligible, so if somebody scratches, that horse will be entered for the to run. So mile and the eighth are traveling, and there's a horse I really like in this race again. That's the 11 horse Rachel's Valentina. Before I saw the entries come out, I thought they're gonna put a different horse as a morning line favorite. They put this horse as the morning line favorite, so I wasn't too thrilled about that. But she looks like she should run a monster race. Gonna put that horse on top of a superfecta here. Gonna go 11-3-12-6, 11-3-12-6 in race number 11, the Kentucky Oaks from Churchill. But number 11, Rachel's Valentina, 7-2. John Velasquez is on this daughter of Bernardini, who is Rachel Valentina, but Rachel Alexandra actually won the Kentucky Oaks in 2009 by like 28 lengths, something like that. But Rachel's Valentino, she'll really run well here today. Last time out in the Ashland, first start of the year, and the going a mile 16th at Keeneland. This horse finished second by neck that day. Just missed that day. It wasn't the best race for this horse after a long layoff. Should be improving after that today. Then at Keeneland, a mile 16th in Breeze Cup Juvenile Fillies, finished second by 5 1/4 lengths behind Songbird. Just couldn't get Songbird. Songbird was in a race of her own that day. And then in the Spinaway Stakes at Saratoga, 7 furlongs, this horse won by length. Really ran really well. Won her first career start in main special weight at Keeneland at Saratoga. This horse should be on the improve. Just looking at her buyers, 79 first career start, 81 in the Spinaway, 90 in the Breeze Cup Juvenile Fillies, and 92 last time out. Should really rock this race out, I think. Workouts have been pretty good. Churchill Downs workout, 4-furlong workout in 47-4, the 5th best workout, 22, and a 4-furlong workout, 48-3, the 13th best out of 32. So, I really like this horse here. Going to put this on my top of my ticket here. I'm also going to put the 3-horse Lewis Bay at 8-1 Irad Ortiz. Really like this horse here out of another horse out of Bernardini, who is the daddy of this horse. But last time out in the Gazelle, this horse won by 1.5 lengths. A very, very clear and great victory. Then finished second in the Devona Dale and won the Demoiselle. This horse had a very good Demoiselle stakes as a 2-year-old at Aqueduct. I think this horse should really be on the improvement today. Another horse that the buyer's been pretty good the last 3 starts. Should run a hell of a race here. I'm also going to put the 12 horse Land Over Sea here at 5-1. I'm actually going to put the 12 horse, who is Catherine Sophia. I'm looking at the wrong horse. The 12 horse as the 3rd spot, who is Catherine Sophia, 9-2. The distance might be a problem. It's going to probably, I think this horse might be setting the pace here. Or sitting off of it, looking out of the horses. Another horse who could be setting the pace is 9 horse Pilo Queen. But, this horse, number 12, Catherine Sophia, great at the 1-turn distance. Going 2 turns, it's win-win. She didn't prove, she hung very badly last time out. Really couldn't get to the Weep No More or Rachel's Valentina. She'll have to prove a lot for me today to put her on as on top of a ticket for like a pick 5 or, the pick 6 or pick 3. I'm not going to probably use her in that kind of sequence. I could change my mind, but at the moment, she's not a use for me on that, on a win, maybe in the trifecta and superfecta. Yeah, but not in like the pick 5 sequence. But, this horse finished 3rd in the Ashland. Going 1 turn, this horse was just basically brilliant, just excellent. This horse won the Devona Dale, won the Forward Gal, won a race at Laurel, and won a main special weight at Parks. we'll just have to do a hell of a lot, I think, to win today. But also, I have on my ticket for the fourth place in my superfecta is number 6 Mocat for Flavian Pratt for Richard Baltus. Finished second in the against Songbird and Sandy handicap last time out. This horse had a decent second place finish on the slop. He just held his own that day, or her own. Then finished third in the Santa Isabel. Another horse. I don't think she's that good to win, but I do have her in the the bonds places. Would use her in the. They have a super high five this race, which let me see if they do. Yes, they do. And there also is, if you want to know, there is a pick 3 with this race that goes into the Oaks Woodford Derby. I will have a ticket up tomorrow. Today's early Thursday morning. I will have my video up for Saturday's races up on Friday morning. So I will have a ticket. I really like that Oaks Woodford Reserve and Derby class. That Derby pick 3, see if I can find a single in there and really go deep in the Derby, because I think it's a very deep Derby this year. I think this Rich Valentina should really run a monster race here. So to recap my bets for race number 11 from Churchill Downs, it's the Longines Kentucky Oaks, the 142nd edition of this race. Gonna go with the 11 horse Rachel's Valentina. Gonna do a superfecta here. 11-3, 12-6, 11-3, 12-6. So good luck to all, and follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5. Good luck, everybody.